What's up, my kingdom? Ghost of Yotei is finally out, and I think it's time that we do a review for it. Ghost of Yotei is a 2025 action-adventure game from Sucker Punch Productions, as you guys already knew. Released exclusively for PS5, it's a standalone sequel to Ghost of Tsushima set in early 17th century Ezo and Atsu, a ronin driven by vengeance at its heart. Whew. What works well in this game? Well, let's find out. Stunning atmosphere and world design. The landscape seasons natural beauty. All of it feels alive. Northern Japan around Mount Yotei isn't just backdrops. It becomes part of the story, a character in itself. The world rewards curiosity with side stories and environmental touches that makes detours feel actually meaningful for once in a video game. Refined, reactive in combat. The combat system is satisfying and polished. You wield multiple weapons, katana, dual katanas, I cannot pronounce, I apologize. But each has its own strength, counter dynamics. It's not just button mashing. Good fights demand timing. Definitely reading enemies, switching tools mid-battle, moments of disarm, or throwing discarded weapons adds tragic death. And I really love that part because you could be in the middle of a fight, and after you get done doing your typical sword fight, someone's coming at you. If there's a sword in the ground, you can pick it up and throw it right at your enemy. It's actually a really cool concept for it. There's definitely a strong protagonist and narrative drive in this game. Definitely, the main character, it's compelling grief, vengeance, but also vulnerability. Her journey against Yotei 6 gives the main story tension, while some plot beats feels kind of familiar. The execution often elevates the material. Tactical and art direction. Visually, Ghost of Yotei is excellent, and on the PS5 Pro especially, the lighting, weather effects, it's absolutely top tier. The use of the DualSense controller for immersion touchpad triggers haptic feedback, and as you can see, writing actual Japanese letters is freaking awesome. There's a wide variety of graphic modes, giving the player options depending on what they value, so play how you want. Now, there is some spots where it fumbles. Feels very safe / familiar. For many parts, Yotei feels like Ghost of Tsushima to an everything but name. Not a bad thing, but it doesn't push boundaries dramatically. If you played lots of Samurai Revenge / open world action titles recently, some scenes may feel a little predictable. Now, the pacing and side quest issues. The main campaign drags in places. There are long stretches where missions feel padded, or you're just bouncing between fights and climbing traversal sequences that interrupt momentum. Side quests occasionally feel underwhelming or generic compared to the richness of the main storyline, and uneven characters and villain development. While Atsu is well realized, some of the Yotei 6, the mask people, and secondary NPCs don't get enough depth. A few of the villains are okay, but others feel like they're just there to fill in the revenge checklist. Now, Ghost of Yotei doesn't reinvent the wheel. It leans heavily on the template laid out by its predecessors and the genre at large. But where it does well, it does very well. Beautiful, brutal, emotionally charged, and immersive, especially when you're willing to slow down and soak in the world. If you're going into this expecting a masterpiece, bold and envisioned, you might walk away wanting a bit more. But if you want a strong, polished samurai adventure with high production values and satisfying combat, this game definitely delivers. Now, a lot of people are boycotting this game because, unfortunately, there was a passing of Charlie Kirk, and someone from the studios definitely made some remarks, and that, don't worry about that was awkward. But don't let one person that got fired from the studio ruin your experience to play this game, because it's definitely worth playing, because you can tell that the developers and the people that worked on this game worked really, really hard on this game to bring it to the fans, and that's what we got to look at, not the person that got fired because their actions did get them fired. So definitely, guys, don't let that boycott you from buying this game. However, though, with that being said, from the gameplay, the storyline, and stuff like that, it's not a bad game. It's not a terrible game, but I am giving this a 7.5 out of 10. So Ghost of Yotei isn't just a sequel, it's a refinement. It might not surprise you, but it will leave you breathless just by watching everything. But thanks for watching, guys, and survive the sword and walk the snow. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.